this working? There we go. Nice work. So, raise your hand if you, or actually stand up if your birthday is in June. Okay, if you are standing up and you're willing to share what either you or your partner said optimism is, then raise your hand. Are you willing to share what you or your partner said? Great, Skylar.
Does it mean happy?
Great. Pass it back to George. What did you or your partner say?
It means like being optimistic.
Yep. Okay. What is optimism?
When you look on the bright side.
Okay. Great definition. So yes, optimism means looking on the bright side, being happy, choosing the positive side of things. If I decide I'm going to be optimistic or look with optimism, then I look at something and I think, okay, what's the good in this versus what's the bad in it? It's easy to do one way or another. You know, you start off your morning and you wake up and something shows up that's not right. And you can look at it and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Or you can look at it and go, there's a challenge, but at least I have this, right? So focusing on the good. When I was in one of the band classes today, they were circling up and talking to each other about their hopes for the school year. And I heard some kids who were approaching it with optimism saying, I can't wait to learn something new in math, or I'm really excited about outdoor ed. And then I heard some kids who were saying, I'm hopeful for the last day of school. And I'm like, okay, yes, we can be hopeful for the last day of school, but also that makes for a really hard year if all you're doing is looking forward to the last day. So you really want to look with optimism because it's going to make for a really great year and a year of learning and growth. So can you go back one? There we go. So remember and commit to the school motto. What is our school motto? Everybody. Work hard. Okay, work hard, be kind, achieve. Can I hear everybody say that one more time with total enthusiasm? Work hard, be kind, achieve. Much better. Great, so together for these 10 minutes is all we're going to be together. Put my timer on. We're going to remember the motto. We're going to talk about what be the change means. We're going to identify how you can make sure we are a school where everybody belongs, and then help you understand some expectations. So, work hard, be kind, achieve. Work hard means both academically and socially. Sometimes the social part is the hardest part for us, especially in 7th grade. And sometimes you have to really step out of your comfort zone and be courageous to help somebody else feel better when you're also feeling a little insecure about something. So work hard both in your academics and in your social interactions. Be kind to one another in every interaction. When you see somebody feeling uncomfortable, do something to make them feel better. Choose words that are going to bring people up instead of make them feel worse about themselves. 7th grade's a hard year. Sometimes in your mind you say things to yourself that are kind of negative. So I really want you to be thinking about that. Am I being negative right now or am I being optimistic? And don't let the negativity come out with other people, because we actually have a lot of power over our peers. So if you're with somebody who's like, you know, mountain biking this weekend, I scraped myself up because I fell. If you're with somebody who's like, oh, I don't know this trail, these rocks are big, I'm kind of nervous, well, how does it make you feel? A little more scared too. If you're with somebody who's like, oh my gosh, look at the sun, it's shining, this is a new trail, I can't wait to see what it's like, how does it make you feel? Yeah, excited, enthusiastic, and kind of willing to take some more risks because you feel pretty good. So be that person to one another. That's the be the change. Be the change doesn't mean we want you to change because there's something wrong with you, okay? Be the change means be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the change you wish to see in our school. How can we make it better? Be the change you wish to see in yourself. What are you looking for to be as a person? And try to be that person. Try to be that change. And then where everybody belongs, Mr. Funes is wearing the Web Leaders shirt that our students wore when they welcomed our 5th graders in. We had some 8th graders who were leaders. Some of you will ask to be these leaders for the new 5th graders next year. We want to be a school where everybody feels like they belong. Right now we have some kids, we have a lot of people in our community who were impacted by the fire, right? That impacted our summer quite a bit. Some people lost their homes. Some people had quite a bit of fear around what was going to happen. A lot of us were breathing smoke for a long time, and it made an impact, right? So if we're a school where everybody belongs, and you know there are people next to you that might have gone through some hard times, what can you do to be that person that makes them still feel okay and here ready to learn? So I want you to turn and talk to somebody next to you. Make sure both people talk about what you personally can do to make sure that this is a school where everybody belongs. Turn and talk. Make sure your partner has a chance to say something. If your birthday is in December, please stand up. If your birthday is in December and you're willing to share something that you or your partner said about how to help make the school a place where everybody belongs, raise your hand for me. What would that sound like if you're being inclusive? What might you say to somebody or do?
Ask them to join your group.
Awesome. So you could ask them to join your group. Are you willing? No? Okay. You don't have to. You can take a risk right now, or you can be like, not today. What do you think, Salami? What you or your partner or something else?
If they're lonely at a table, you could just go up to them and just hang out with them.
And sometimes we're so self-consumed, like so worried about our own stress in life or having so much fun with our own friends that we don't take the time to notice who might be sitting by themselves. So open your eyes to that, okay? Put on a new set of lenses and try to see what you can see. Was there anybody else who wanted to share that particular question? Okay. Okay, so I wanted to review with you a few expectations. Some of these have changed a little bit and some are the same. Dress code has changed a little bit. We still are asking you to make sure all of your body parts are covered. So your shorts need to cover your bottom all the way. But we're not doing the finger rule, make sure it comes to here, because we know that that is hard for people to buy clothes that match that rule, and we want you to be comfortable. So what you're expected to do is cover all your body parts and don't wear clothing that has anything on it that is a drug reference or bad words or anything like that. So what's going to be, you'll be asked to just turn it inside out if you have a shirt that has something on it. You might not even realize it's a drug reference because a lot of them out there are things that we don't all recognize as that. But if somebody says, do you mind turning that inside out? That's not appropriate for school. Just say, okay, and flip your shirt inside out or whatever it is. Clothing, we have extra clothing in the office for you, or you can grab clothes from your PE locker. And, but you are allowed to wear spaghetti straps now. That's a little different from the past as well. So just make sure that you're here ready to learn and that you're in comfortable clothes for learning and that all your body parts are covered. Cell phones, hats, and gum. Those are the same as they've been. Cell phones, shut it off at 8 o'clock when the first bell rings, and at 3:20 when you're out of the academic wing, you can have your phone back out. Make sure that it doesn't ring, buzz, or fall out of your clothing if you're wearing it, and focus on learning when you're here. If a teacher has you using your phone in class for a specific academic assignment, that's fine. But they'll let you know in advance, and you have to use it for just that purpose. With hats, same thing. As soon as you walk down the academic wing, your hat's off. You may have your hats at lunch, but you may not have your cell phones out at lunch. And then don't put on the hat till you get into the cafeteria or outside. Gum, don't even walk in the door with the gum. If you need to be reminded, the teacher will just kind of give you a signal, like, go throw your gum out, oops. We do have a new consequence this year. It's a Friday detention from 3:15 to 3:45. So if any of these things are things that you consistently are having trouble with meeting the expectation, then you'll be signed up for an after-school detention and have to figure out a ride home after 3:45. Bullying, harassment, and conflict. The difference between bullying and conflict. Conflict is usually just two people. It can be more than two people, but usually two. And both people have done the other one wrong. So if I'm walking along and I push Christian and he pushes me back, that's a conflict. We both did something wrong. We can both take ownership for it. Bullying is, there's a power difference. That's where a person or a group of people are making somebody else feel bad and the other person isn't doing anything about it. They are the one who's the victim. And we need you guys to be upstanders, which means that you jump in when something happens and you specifically say something to the other student. I don't like how you're making him feel. Look at his face. I don't think he likes that. And then you also let an adult know so that we can work on it. The other thing about bullying is it's often repeated, so it's consistent things. Some of the things you say you may not think are bullying, but if you aren't doing this back and forth and you see the other person is uncomfortable, then you need to recognize it as that. If you're like, ooh, we don't want you on our team, and you think it's a joke, but the other people around you are laughing and that person is feeling low, that's bullying. Now, harassment is a type of bullying that's against the law, can get you in really big trouble, can get the school in really big trouble. And that's if it's related to something about your gender, religion, sexuality, anything, race. If it not just hurts that person, but hurts a whole group of people, that's called harassment, and it's a law violation. So saying you're so gay, that's a law violation. That's harassment. So that's a word that we all grow up with certain words that people use around us, and I want to make sure you guys are clear that's not one that we use at school or ever, because it's mean to a whole group of people, whether you want it to be hurtful or not, because it's perceived as hurtful, okay? George. Okay, if it's for fun. So it's going to turn into a conflict if, number one, usually something physical at school turns into a conflict. Because there's a lot of people, and maybe when I pushed Christian, he bumped into Tyler. And that's going to cause Tyler to react, maybe, too. So number one, it's a safety issue. But if you're just playing around, you really need to be aware of your body and your body space and how the other person's perceiving what you're doing. So try not to be physical at all, especially physical play at school. Yeah. So how are you going to grow this year? Make mistakes, learn from them, and try differently next time. That's what we're all about at Basalt Middle School. We're learning, we're growing. I'm still going to get my bike. I'm going to go back on that same trail next weekend because I want to get better at it. And this time I'm going to try to ride behind somebody who's just like having fun with confidence so I can just flow with that person's vibe. But you do sometimes need to ask for help, because there are times when, in order to grow, we need a different strategy and we can't figure it out ourselves. So your parents, your teachers, your classmates, your counselors, every single person is here to help make sure you grow. And if that strategy doesn't work, go to somebody else, try a different one, okay? So what's our motto again?
Work hard, be kind, achieve.
Let's go do that. Remember, you entered the auditorium perfectly. Remember, our expectation is you walk in behind your teacher and they show you where to sit, and we're going to do the same thing on the way out. So you may follow your teacher's lead. Oh, never mind, sit. I forgot. I am passing the mic on to 7th grade, and while I get you ready, I'd like you to turn next to somebody and talk about how you're going to grow this year. Be optimistic. Pick something good. Yeah, I'll try to listen to that.
bright up here. Oh my goodness. Speaking of bright, that's my name. Hi, guys. So we're the 7th grade teachers. You've probably met a few of us, if not all of us, and we're going to be going over a few things in a minute. But let's get some energy out first. So I'm going to have you guys follow me in an activity here, where you will need to stand up. All right, we're going to just get some energy out. This is called 1 to 8. The way it works is we're going to start with our hands. We're going to start with our right hand. You can start with your left, it doesn't matter. And we're going to shake it, okay? 8 times. When I start, we'll count. We'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll count. And then we do 8 times with our other hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's pretty fast. Then we do our legs. Now this is where be careful. Don't like bang your foot on the chair and hurt yourself. And so that would be 8, one leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we switch to the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now as soon as that's done, immediately I go back to that first hand I used. But this time I'm going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 7, 7, 6, 6. But you get the idea all the way down to 1. See if you can keep up. Are you ready? Everybody, here we go. Right hand, or which one you're starting with? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. I can't hear you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, So welcome to 7th grade. Take a deep breath. Relax. You ever heard of 7-Eleven bells? 7-Eleven? You can use it one way or the other to wake up or to calm down. Which one do you think we should do probably right now? Maybe calm down. So we're going to breathe in for 7 count. We're going to breathe out for 11. Remember, it's in through your nose, out through your mouth. How many in? 7. How many out? 11. Here we go. One more time. Out.
Okay guys, we wanted to go over a few expectations we have as a 7th grade team, and then also try and answer some questions you probably have right now as new 7th graders. Get closer. It's coming. It's coming. There you go. Nancy. Okay, so you guys know about the gum and the hat rule, and this Ellsperman and the cell phone rule. Miss Ellsperman already went over those. We don't want to see them, okay? During school hours. Hallway behavior, somebody was asking about, hey, what if I push so-and-so and they push me back? We actually shouldn't see that in the hallway at all. So you want to keep your hands in a bubble in the hallway, okay?
Especially because you're with 8th graders too. It gets crowded, so you gotta keep your stuff together.
Okay, most of your teachers have gone over this because we helped you set up your lockers this morning, and we know that the lockers are new and tricky, especially that last little ninja move. So we know you will need to practice that this whole week, but we really want to make sure that in the morning you know what to do. So in the morning you take your backpacks to specials. You shouldn't be going down into the 7th, 8th grade pods and down that hallway at all, unless you're going to a specials class like art or tech. So you take your backpack to your specials class. When they dismiss you at the end of Core 1, you're going to go to your locker. Before you go to Core 2, go to your locker, unpack your backpack, put all your stuff away in there, throw your backpack on top or hang it up nicely, and then you're going to need your materials to go to Core 2. You should always have, for every single class, your planner, your pencil, and your Chromebook. I understand you don't have planners and Chromebooks yet, but they are coming. So when you get those, you need those for every single class. We expect you for every single class to be on time when the music ends or the bell goes. We good? When the music ends or the bell goes, you should be in your seat with your materials. You shouldn't be in the hall, you shouldn't be coming into the classroom, you should be in your seat when the music ends. You should be desk ready and filling out your planner or doing a do now. This year, actually go ahead, Mr. Funes. Okay, so being on time, we will record tardies. Sorry, I forgot to do that. It will be part of your executive skills, habits of a scholar grade. And excessive tardies will result in that Friday after school detention. And possibly lunch, yeah. This is what it looks like to be desk ready for every class. You need to have your Chromebook, your planner, your materials for that class, and then a pencil or a pen. At the beginning of each class, you can expect to see a warm-up or a do now. So you should be doing that as soon as you are desk ready and get started on that right away. So you're in the right frame of mind to focus on that learning target in your classroom that day. Snack time, a lot of students want to know when they can eat. Snack time most of the week is during crew. Wednesday, early release, we don't have crew. So you'll be having snacks during core 3. We want to encourage you to have healthy snacks. Fruits, veggies, nuts, healthy snack bars, things like that. There is no soda allowed in classrooms, so you should have a water bottle with you. So we're going to go over this. You can ask your teachers more about it. They'll remind you as needed. Hopefully no one will need to have this reminded. This is kind of heavy for day 1. But just so you know, we really are interested in having you grow in every aspect in 7th grade, especially, academically. So we want to maintain our academic learning for every single kid in the classroom. If you're having a lot of trouble one day when you come into a classroom, you should let your teacher know that. And then you can work out a plan. Like, oh, I didn't eat breakfast this morning. I'm having a really difficult time focusing. Talk to your teacher about it. I bet they'll have a snack for you. If you, you really want to take responsibility for managing yourself in your classrooms. If you have trouble doing that, you will get a reminder from your teachers, a warning or a reminder. It might be a sticky note. It might be a quick eye contact. It might be an eyebrow lift. I'm good with the eyebrow lift. It might be a verbal warning or a reminder. If you continue that behavior, you're really having a tough time, and you haven't talked to the teacher about what you can do about it, you will go to a spot, a quiet spot, where you'll be working on something called a refocus sheet, where you are going to take ownership for the behavior that interrupted the learning for everyone else in the classroom. And then the teacher will come to you when the teacher can, and will ask you, to go over the refocus sheet and with an I statement. I interrupted class. So you're taking ownership there. Teacher will invite you back to class, and you'll continue with class. And hopefully that will be all you need. If you continue to have trouble being focused in class, you will go to the office, and there'll be a phone call home, and you'll talk to the principal or the assistant principal. Are there any questions about that? Okay, I know, heavy. Okay, bathroom pass this year. If you need to go to the bathroom, it is going to be kept track of in your planner. Tricky these first 2 days without a planner. Yeah. So in the bottom of your planner, and your teachers will go over this when you get your planners, you are going to write your teacher name and time at the bottom of that column in your planner and have your teacher initial it quickly, and you can take the bathroom pass and head to the bathroom. There will only be 1 bathroom visit out of any of the classes per day. So once it's filled out on the bottom of the planner, that's it. Okay, unless there's some sort of emergency or special scenario, but you need to plan it ahead. It shouldn't be a break time, it should be to use the bathroom. So we're going to go over a few questions you might have.
Yeah. You've been awesome. That was a lot. So first question we are going to cover is, where do I check my grades? So Funes, hit it. Here is where you check your grades. We are using Infinite Campus, the portal, for all our academic grades. Now Schoology may have some grades, because we do grade in Schoology, but that might not be perfectly updated. Some of us use grading scales, so check Infinite Campus. Schoology isn't a perfect picture. We will be having homework help Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, so we have Mushler, Nixon, 3:45 to 4:25. This is something that we will all be talking to you about in more detail. This is an awesome time to get work done, to do the work so you don't have to do it at home. It's really useful. So we have this awesome new pod. If you ever went down there last year, it was kind of dark. There's nothing in it. Yeah, it wasn't that great. But this year, it is amazing. So we have this amazing new pod, and we want to reiterate that this is a learning space that all of the 7th grade and some of the 8th grade classes will use. So we are to treat this space just like we would a classroom. We respect it, we keep it nice, we make sure it's clean, and we're not loud because there are all these doors everywhere, they can hear you. And the next question, where can I be at lunch? So you're in the lunchroom, you are outside, you are in the makerspace, and then there are a couple other places you can be. You can be in the library with approval from Ms. Douglas, and you can be in a classroom with a teacher. But the important part is this right here. You must have a pass from Mr. Hayden or that teacher to be in the hallway during recess time. And the Chromebook is not to be used for anything other than schoolwork during lunchtime, so please do not play games and think it's okay. Final question. Are we going on a trip? Yes, we are. We will be heading to Buena Vista for our annual outdoor education trip. We will be rafting Browns Canyon, rock climbing, and doing some camping. And I will get you guys the permission slips soon and some information about that soon. And here, yeah, we don't have sound, so I don't think this is, we're going to show this in crew, so I think that we are pretty much set with, yeah. Anyone else?
Any
Intro?
questions for us?
Yeah, any questions? That's good. Yes. Yeah, at some point, this is like we're taking this video and being like, ooh, we can show that in crew one day. So maybe tomorrow, maybe a few days from now, who knows. The outdoor ed trip is two days, 1 night. Yep, 2 days, 1 night. It's fun. There it is. Any more questions? Absolutely. We don't control in between classes. That's just during academic time. So if you go between 2nd and 3rd hour, like we're not going to not let you go later on in the day. That's using your time efficiently. We want you to do that. Any more?
No more questions?
Yeah. Okay. Well, awesome. Thank you so much.